Hey guys, welcome back to BCMN Bracketology. Today we're going to be going over the SEC conference tournament and we're going to be making our selections for it. First off, I want to say thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support on previous videos. We really appreciate the comments, likes, and even those who decided to subscribe. It's free and it really means a lot and helps us out. Thank you guys so much and let's hop into this video. So first off, we have a 12 versus 13 seed. We've got Vanderbilt versus Texas A&M. Both teams not looking too great. Obviously, the week or two of this bracket. However, Texas A&M just had a pretty good game against Arkansas. I thought coming off of about a month and a half break. Both teams don't really have that many quality wins this year, but Texas A&M, I thought that game against Arkansas where they shot nearly 50% in the first half was incredible. So I'm going to put Texas A&M here.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so now we have Florida versus Texas A&M. Once again, Texas A&M didn't play a single game in February, and they haven't won in March, so they don't have that experience. They ain't coming back yet. Florida just lost two, but one was to Missouri by 2 points, and one was to Tennessee when they played really bad. We'll get into that Tennessee-Florida game later, but we're still going to take Florida.
So now looking at our next game, we got Kentucky versus Mississippi State. Both teams kind of had good wins earlier in the season. Mississippi State, I think, had a win over Missouri and a win over Florida, and I think Kentucky had similar wins. However, recently Mississippi State has not been playing as good, and Kentucky, I've actually been surprised with their how they've been playing. Mississippi State recently just lost to Auburn, and then they had a few wins over pretty bad teams, and they lost to Vanderbilt. They got blown out in that one. Kentucky, on the other hand, their win against Tennessee I thought was really impressive, and they've lost a few, but I thought those games were really close and against kind of elite teams. So I'm going to put Kentucky here.
Yeah. All right, next we got Tennessee, Florida. They played a couple games ago, or maybe last game it was. Tennessee won by 11. All right. Tennessee was at home, first of all. So on a neutral site, that's going to be way different. Second, Florida's a big team. They only got 9 offensive rebounds, and Tennessee got 18 offensive rebounds. That is so big. Usually that wouldn't happen to Florida. I think they're going to pick it back up and not let that happen again, and they're going to win this game.
Yeah, so next we got Alabama, Kentucky. There's very few teams in this conference that I could see actually pulling an upset off Alabama. We'll get to that in a minute, but I don't see Kentucky winning. We saw that earlier in the season.
Yeah. All right, next we got Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Ole Miss has won 3 of the last 4, including a win against a ranked Missouri. South Carolina has won 1 game in the past, I think 11 or something. They look really bad. We're going to take Mississippi. Ole Miss.
So next we got Missouri versus UGA. Missouri's been going downhill a lot, but I don't see them losing this one.
Yeah. All right, next we got LSU, Ole Miss. LSU has been playing pretty good. They lost 2 of the last 4. One was to Georgia, who's not been playing very good at all. One was to Arkansas, but that's explainable. They did have a good win the other day, though. Ole Miss, once again, they've won 3 of the last 4. I think they're going to win this game, honestly. Even though they lost their last matchup against them, I think they're going to win it.
Yeah, so now we got Arkansas versus Missouri. Missouri not been playing too hot recently. I think Arkansas, on the other hand, arguably the hottest team, not only in the SEC, in the entire nation. They have won, I think, 11 straight now. They had a barely lost to Oklahoma State when they weren't as red hot as they are now. I think they would easily win that one right now. They kind of had this matchup earlier when Missouri was a much better team earlier in February, and Arkansas was still able to win away. And I think recently when they've beaten Bama and LSU, I think that shows that they're just a much better team as of right now.
Yeah. Next we got Arkansas, Ole Miss. We got Florida, Bama. My bad. All right, Florida, Bama. Obviously, Bama's been so good this year. Florida just lost to Tennessee, but they did win in this tournament. But it would be like a close game because they just lost to Tennessee. They played really bad. They shot like 20% from 3. Bama has a much better defense, much better transition offense. I think they're going to blow Florida out.
Yeah, and Bama, I think last game in the second half they were shooting something crazy like 75 or 80% from three-pointers to come back and win that game. If they can be that hot and play that good of defense as they were in that game, in the second half at least, I think they're going to be a very scary team come March. But if they play as they did in the first half, I'm a lot, not too high on them. So next we got Mississippi. Ole Miss versus Arkansas. Ole Miss is a great team. Don't get me wrong; they were able to upset LSU in this bracket, and I think they've had some pretty surprising wins this year over Vanderbilt and Kentucky recently. I don't see them beating Arkansas. Arkansas, as we said, is the hottest team in the country. We are very high on them this year, and I think, unlike previous years, I think Moses Moody is just exceptional. And I think he's going to be actually able to carry this team maybe to the Final Four, maybe even further. I think Arkansas is going to easily win this one.
Now we got to the finals. We got Alabama. We got Arkansas. This could be a really good game again. When they played earlier, Arkansas won by 15, I think. Something crazy like that. And I'm looking at the stats right now. They won by 15 and shot 5% less or worse in three than the other team did. That's kind of insane. Wait. Arkansas is going to blow them out.
Okay, Arkansas is not going to blow Bama out, but to be fair, they were at home, so I think it's going to be a great game. Alabama, they've got exceptional shooting from three. Arkansas, though, on the other hand, I think Moses Moody and some other of them are just incredible. Earlier in the year when Arkansas played Bama and they lost, they didn't have one of their best players, and now they do, and it shows. They've won 8 straight, and I think it was 11 straight SEC games. It is incredible how they've been playing, and I don't see Bama being able to win this one. Bama could if they shoot incredible, and that's what the thing about Bama is. Bama is one of those teams that in March Madness, you could pick them going all the way, and I could easily see it and map out how they would win all the way, shooting 60% from three, and that's very, very possible. The thing is, though, if we're being realistic, I think Arkansas is going to be able to lock them down and win this game. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you liked our picks, and have a good one.